All right, what's up, everybody? Let's talk about Palantir. This is PriceIsKing.com. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Let's talk about what's going on with Palantir today. We're going to look at it from a technical perspective so you know exactly what's happening this week, where it was the past couple of weeks, well, all the hype is, are the insiders selling? I believe the insiders are going to sell just to take some profit for sure. But from a technical perspective, let's take a look at and see what's going on. All right, so here, this is the chart. This is a daily chart on Thinkorswim. Make sure you zoom out to kind of get a good picture of where things are, right? If you're a day trader, you may end up taking a look at the 1 minute chart. You see a lot of noise, but on a 1 minute chart, intraday traders, you see and look for patterns, whatnot, right? But if you're an investor, you've been on this stock for some time and you want to see if you want to take profit, and maybe perhaps when it dips a little bit, maybe get in some more. All right, so you want to know where it's going to go, where it's going to be headed, and so that's what we're going to look at today. Now, if you were to go ahead and kind of zoom out and see, you'll notice that it's been on a rip, right? From starting right around here, it just kept on going up. There was a dip here, and then up and up and up and up. All right, I think I made a video. If you go back and click on this video right here, you'll see what I was talking about previously when I made a video on Palantir a little while ago, and I kind of told you guys, hey, look, this is something that's going to make people a lot of money. And if you had gone in around that time, you would have made a lot of money right about now. So with that said, look at where the chart is, right? We're hovering on the upper Bollinger Band right here, right? And we're pretty much at the all-time highs, 38.19. That's where pretty much it is. And today it took a dip for some profit taking, obviously. People are going to be taking some profit. And as you know, it is off the upper Bollinger Band. And so what's going to end up happening now is it's going to try to squeeze its way down to the mid band, the middle Bollinger Band right around here. And you know that that's about to happen because we've already crossed the low of yesterday's, as well as we're looking at the cross over here on the MACD. If you look at the MACD, you see there's a cross happening. It's still above the zero line, so there could be, when it comes down to the Bollinger Band, that's where probably you'll see this go towards the zero line. Okay, and if the zero line gets crossed, then you know that the mid band is going to get crossed, which eventually it'll lead towards the lower band, right? And when the lower band happens, usually what ends up happening is it's not going to completely like splat unless the market splats, right? So what it'll happen is it'll hover around somewhere in the 29-30 areas before, and then it'll slowly creep its way back up. So if you are a swing trader, this may be a good time, and I think most of them are exiting right now. And they're going to take some profit and wait till the next leg up, which will, once you see it around in the next few days, it'll hover around maybe even 35, 34, right? That's an area where you might want to take a look at along, right? Maybe if you're looking at 1,000 shares, instead of buying 1,000 shares, you maybe buy just 300 shares. Okay. And the reason, and I always follow the rule of thirds, right? I don't know if you watched my previous videos and explained to you exactly how the rule of thirds work in my terms of, adding positions. Basically, if you know you see a leg downwards and you want to buy 1,000 shares, instead of going all in at 1,000, go in at 300, a third of it. And then if it were to go further down, you look at the next leg. Where is it going to find support, right? And to find that support, you kind of go ahead and look at where the previous lows were, right? You might see somewhere around here that could be a support, right? And if you look at it, not only is this going to be a support, but it also kind of tried to break it several times. If you look at this right here, right? Right around late August, you see that it was trying to break that, and when it did break it, it went up, right? So now this could be the next support, and if that support breaks, where's the next support, which would probably be right around here. So I would try to mark it somewhere right here, right? And so that's how you would go ahead and kind of mark your next, oops, let me delete this. Sometimes I pick the wrong one. If you pick the price one, you can just draw it right here and mark this as the entire price. Right, so now this, if this breaks, that's your next leg support down, right? And if this one breaks, right, that's maybe you want to add the second third. If you're bullish on this stock, right, this is where you would add your second third, okay? And then the next leg down would be, you would look at it and say, okay, you know what, this one broke, where's the next support? I think around here looks like another support. It tried to reach over here, it kind of made a support over here. There were some previous highs over here, so that could be another support area, okay? And that's how you kind of take it into consideration, right? And then the next ultimate leg would be down somewhere around here, right? So these are the kind of visual indicators you would look for when you're trying to analyze a specific stock. And then in this case, we're looking at Palantir, and this is all, mind you, forget about what's happening in the market, whether or not the insiders are trading, what kind of, this is just strictly chart analysis, right? Technical analysis of the particular stock. We're not looking at fundamentals. We're not looking at where, you know, their next client is coming from, how many contracts they're signed in millions or billions or wherever it is, right? We're not looking at that, right? You can certainly look at it, and you would actually go ahead, kind of take a quick peek at all the news cycles that's coming around, right? What the big monies are thinking. Are there, you know, Kathy Wood, what is she doing, blah, blah, blah. She's always like looking at Palantir because of the friend, you know, Peter is a good friend of hers, and kind of drives this stock along with him. And so with that said, this is pretty much what's happening, right? We're going to have some legward pressure downward that will give you a buying opportunity. Now remember, you know, this is just my opinion. If you are looking to purchase, make sure you ask your financial advisor if this makes sense for you and your portfolio. Obviously, you know, do your due diligence. That's number one key. And then once you do that, follow that rule of third and make sure you look and take into consideration instead of going all in, right? Remember, never to put all your eggs in one basket. And that's where I always take that rule of thirds. And because what happens is, if you end up going long here on the first third and it kind of dumps, you could immediately go and dump down over here, right? Where your next leg could be down here. And that way you're not going negative twice, right? You always weigh your options every time there's a leg downwards. You kind of take a step back and say, okay, all right, look what happened. How is the action behaving? How is this price action behaving now? What does the volume look like, right? What are we looking at in terms of volume? Where's the MACD? If there's another indicator that you like, you know, you kind of take a look at it as well, just to see what that is saying. Remember, all these indicators are lagging indicators, so they're never going to tell you what's going to happen in the future, but at least you kind of have an idea where price is going around those indicators, right? And in my case, my RAM indicator is one of those that I always kind of look at. When it crosses above the RAM, it goes up, up, up. RAM becomes support. RAM becomes support. RAM, it kind of broke the RAM and went down. And then it became, once it crossed over, it kind of went up, became support, went up. Now there's going to be another period where it's going to be support. So keep that in mind. Keep an eye on it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you're in this particular stock, or if you have another stock that you want me to kind of analyze like the way I did over here briefly. I'll be happy to. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Price is King.